The Angiospermae is the largest group of plants that we have, and we're going to look at the major groupings within the Angiospermae. There are three major groupings. When we start out, it says we start out with flower parts in threes. That means when you start counting the interior parts, it's in multiples of threes. And in this case, we're looking at a spiraled arrangement of these various flower parts, which means that everything tends to be in a whorled arrangement. This produces what we call the magnoliads. The magnoliads are a very old group, and again, the spiral arrangement leads us to believe that these things are very old. When you look at the magnolia flower, what you see is you've got the petals like you would find on a normal flower, and then on the inside right above that you have got the stamens, and the stamens are arranged in a spiral fashion around the base of the ovary, and then you've got the ovary, which everything is spiraled around on the inside. When you look at the stigma and the style, they are coiled. So again, this gives you a rather old arrangement. When you look at this one, this is a tulip poplar, and what you see is, again, you see the stamens spiraled around the base, and then you find a spiral containing all of the ovaries. The next step up, it says flower parts in threes, and what we find is we've got parallel leaf veins on these, which makes it rather easy to distinguish because they do have these very distinctive parallel arrangement to it. And this is going to put us in what we call the monocots. The monocots have a single cotyledon and therefore are rather unique. This shows you a plant. This one happens to be a banana plant, but again, you've got parallel leaf veins because all of the veins come off and they're all parallel, which means the leaves often can fragment. This shows you an iris, and again, you've got parallel leaf veins on it. You know, often with monocots we think grasses. This is oats, and as such is a very interesting grass as well. Over here we've got the rest of the banana tree, and in this particular case it's got the bananas coming out. But we've got the flower parts in threes, we've got the parallel leaf veins. The next step up says we're looking at flower parts in fours and fives, and now we start to have two cotyledons, and in this particular case we're going to talk about dicots. Di meaning two, cot referring to cotyledon. When you see this plant, and this is a bean plant as it's germinating, what you can see is that inside of the bean there were the two storage leaves, and those are the cotyledons, and those are represented by the two first very thick sort of leaves that come out. This is a dicot. This is a thistle, and many of the plants that we have around, especially many of the really pretty flowering plants, tend to be dicots. This, that's a mallow. There are a lot of different names for these particular types of plants, but you see nice, large, showy flowers. So when we are dealing with angiosperms, three basic groups, and within each one of these groups we're going to look at differences and how we can kind of break them apart.